Welcome to the Lan-Scene. I'm Luci Solis, and this is a program dedicated to the people of our city. I wanted to create a place for us to have authentic conversations about the inspired stories, opportunities, and resources available right here in our town. As someone who has spent a portion of my life in poverty, I was able to change my trajectory through the help and the resources available right here in our community. I am proof that when we unify, our city and its people can rise together. Well, welcome to the Lan-Scene. I'm Luci, and today in the studio we have Mike McKissic from the Mikey 23 Foundation. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So tell me a little bit about yourself and your background.
Well, my name is Michael McKissic, as I said. I'm from the Lansing area, born and raised. Started the Mikey 23 Foundation when my son Michael was murdered August 1st of 2015. And so what we tried to do with our foundation is try to teach our youth how to communicate. Not just with the hammer, even though our motto is instead of picking up a gun to commit gun violence, pick up a hammer and build up your community. And so we started a foundation named after my son, Michael. He was named after me, Michael, but we called him Mikey, and he was 23 when he was murdered. So that's why it's called the Mikey 23 Foundation. Wow,
that's really powerful. So tell me a little bit, you mentioned the hammer. Tell me a little bit about that.
So I'm a contractor for the city of Lansing, and what I basically do is I have a family construction company, which is called McKissic Construction, and my son Michael was working for the family construction company. He was very good at his hands, and so we decided to start training our youth, not just our youth but adults too, because we got an apprentice program too with 18 and over, and then we have a youth program from 9 to 16.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And so we teach them how to install windows, doors, siding, culture stone, concrete work, decks, hanging cabinets, flooring, painting, and also we teach them the electrical, plumbing, and HVAC. So they get their hands, they get to touch every part of the aspects of a house and what it's like to remodel a house and how to build a house also.
Wow. So I actually have had the opportunity to see one of the houses that you were working on, and I've seen the kids. So how do you connect with the youth? How do you get them involved?
So when we started, the youth program years ago. And one of the things I've noticed about our youth, because even in my neighborhood, because I stay on the south side of Lansing, one of the things I've noticed that I come from an era that it takes a village to raise a child. I come from that era. Literally, I seen and lived when neighbors seen me doing something I wasn't supposed to be doing. They put me in my place. My parents got home, they did the same thing. Our community has gotten away from that, meaning that when we see kids walking in our neighborhood, we don't say hi to them. We just go about our business. We need to get a chance to get to know them. And so these kids come from, when I started the Mikey 23 Foundation Youth Program, the kids came from all over, and it's about word of mouth. We really don't advertise, so to speak, but it's about parents telling the next parents that my child is involved in this program, my child is involved in this program, or the kid will say, I'm involved in Mikey 23 program, they have taught me X, Y, and Z. Last year, we had one incident that happened. I can't mention the child's name because they're underage, but one particular incident happened. One child wanted to join, his parents wanted him to join the Mikey 23 Foundation. He didn't want to do it during the summertime. And so his mother made him. So when he started, he loved it. So today, he's one of our top-notch students. Not just that, one kid, prior to him coming to Mikey 23, a kid was trying to pull him into gang activities, doing wrong. And so the kid that was trying to pull him in, the gentleman trying to do wrong, he seen what his buddy was doing in the Mikey 23 Foundation. He asked his uncle, can I join the Mikey 23 Foundation? And so he also is one of our top-notch students today. He got away from that lifestyle, doing wrong, and now he's actually doing good in school, and we're very proud of the both of them. So it's we always say if we can breathe on the next person on a positive note, then therefore it gets contagious, and then therefore they will always come to the Mikey 23 Foundation. And it's not just about building and teaching them; it's about mentoring and earning that trust amongst our youth.
And giving them a skill, changing the
Yep.
trajectory. Like you said, they were in the gang life, and
Yes.
then you change the trajectory to know that there's more out there.
That's right.
After that is fantastic.
That's right.
So you're in the community a lot. What does community service mean to you?
Giving back. So my son, you really don't know what type of child you raise until somebody else come and tell you about your child, because you see your child in the house all the time, but when they go about, you know, in their daily life, you know, you don't know until somebody said, well, your child did this X, Y, and Z. So
really good point.
I'm bringing that up. It's only because Michael helped this elderly lady out one day. He met her at the grocery store, and she was ahead of him, and she was short on money. And Michael came out of his pocket to pay the balance of it. And them two became friends. But Michael never came back home and told his mother. Now, he never said, Mom, look what I did. So every 2 weeks, he was bringing her grocery. He found out what she liked and never charged her. So shortly after about a week or so after his funeral, the lady found my wife and I and said, you know, she came over to her house, and one of her grandkids brought her over to the house and said, listen, thank you for your son. This is what he did for me. And Michael never came home to did that. So community service, what we have done to the Mikey 23 Foundation, giving back, right? So we know that certain elderlies need help in their homes. They're staying in their homes, right? And they can't afford the minor repairs, doors, windows, and paint and things of that nature, or even mowing the grass, or even snow removal. So what we have started in the Mikey 23 Foundation, we have started a program that especially this fall, 'cause it's coming up, we're teaching them how to give back, even though we paid them to learn a trade. But that particular weekend, they have to give back. They don't get paid. So we're starting a program of helping elderlies that can't afford to do minor repairs in their homes. So it will be actually next month when the kids will start for our program. And we have an elderly, she's disabled, and we will be working on her house. And this will be our first time. So I told the parents that this is one of the criteria of signing up for Mikey 23, that we have to learn how to give back to our community, and this is part of community service.
Yeah, kind of like your son kind of started that trend on that, right? That's so wonderful. That had to just make your heart feel, oh my gosh, it made my heart beat when I heard that. Yeah. So with the kids, I'm thinking of the kids when I'm out in the community, because I do a lot of community work. How do we get the message to kids that want to be involved in something like this?
So what you want to do, we go speak to churches also too. Then we go to the Islamic centers, and then we're trying to get out to all the other communities. And a lot of kids, they may not want to attend college, right? Which is fine. I got a college degree in computer science, which is COBOL, Pascal, RPG, which is old ancient language that nobody even heard of. But I love to work with my hands, and certain kids may want to work with their hands, and they can make a good living out of it. And some of them can make a good living out of it more so than individuals have a college degree. And therefore, getting into trades is a very positive thing, because you get into trades or the apprentice program, you don't have to pay for none of that. You don't have no debt. You get paid to get trained. And so therefore, it's a win-win. It's a win-win for the kids, the parents that doesn't have to come out of pocket to pay a college fee and things of this nature. So in order to get the word out for these youth, it's always about what we're doing now, talking about it now through this podcast, and letting them know that this program is available if your child wants to get involved. And I'm talking about from young ladies into young men. And we also, this is our first year, we're teaming up with Lansing Promise also too. And what that basically looks like is that the kids that wants to have go to school, work study experience, they can go half day at school and then come for the rest of the remaining time and come with the Mikey 23 Foundation. So we have 3 students signed up already this fall. So matter of fact, one just yesterday, and her name is Elise, and she's very smart, very smart, and she speaks 3 different languages too. So it kind of blew my mind that she does that. But anyway, and so this is our way of spreading the word out. And we attended Lansing. Lansing Eastern invited us prior to school starting to present our program to the students. And that's where we met her from that particular event right there. So these are one of our ways of trying to reach out to our students.
That's so awesome. So it's co-ed,
yes,
which is very, very awesome.
It is.
So let me ask you a question. So once they get into what's the age, first of all?
They start off from 9 years old. So there's 2 programs. Well, there's 3 different programs total. Okay. you have the apprentice program, which is 18 and up. They have to have a GED and 18 and up.
Okay.
They can get an apprentice program.
Okay.
And then they have the youth program. The youth program is generally during the summertime, we had them on 2 days a week. But now that the school has started, we're only having them on weekends, which is on Saturdays. But however, we have, which that age group is from 9 to 16. Okay. But the high schools, the ones that have work experience, they can only be in high school because of the works in Monday through Friday. They only can attend that from them ages as far as that, which is a high school is from that in that regard.
So if you're in the 9 to 16 program, once you're done with that, do they go to the 18 and up one?
That's up to them.
Is that like a continuation from the first program?
It is. So we have summer. We have all 4 season program, which is summer, fall, winter, and spring. All 4 seasons that we go through. In this way, it gets so like we have 10 students now that has been with us ever since the beginning of last year, and so they have learned how to framing, siding, HVAC. Now we're in the process of learning them, teaching them electrical and plumbing. And so the new students that will come in will start from the beginning because we have to learn safety, right? Because the most important thing in construction is safety. So we teach them the safety parts of construction. And then the next aspect is how to run power tools, right? And then the next thing, how to use a measuring tape, right? You got to know how to use a measuring tape because you cut all the lumber. If I give you a number, because lumber is expensive these days. Yes, and so we teach them all the basics. Then they advance to the other programs that we have.
And then once they finish all 3 programs, do they get a certificate?
They do. No. So when they complete, like we just had the spring program, and that was installing windows. And so they got a certificate on how to professionally install the window. Everybody said they can install the window, but I don't know if anybody's out there listening. So if you ever in the wintertime, you sitting by a window, you feel that breeze come through by the window, that's because it wasn't insulated around and it wasn't installed correctly. And so therefore we teach them the correct way and how to install windows.
Oh, so mine weren't. That's why I put the plastic around mine in the wintertime. So that's awesome. So then you work with the Lansing Promise, which is phenomenal because I've done a lot of work with Justin, who's awesome.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
So then with the Lansing Promise, does that help them get into a program after high school?
Yes. So
like if they want to go to LCC or
to our apprentice program. Our apprentice program
okay.
Also. They can go LCC also too, but they can get off into our apprentice program if they want to move forward with that, because this is what they do. Ours is like 3,000 hours, 3,500 hours that they got to complete in order to get the apprentice into our program. And this way, it's a win-win, and it's a win-win for the whole community too. It's like Mikey 23. We literally take houses, and all the houses that we have worked on since we started Mikey 23, all of them was on the demo list. That means that the city had them on the list and they was getting ready to tear them down because it was too much money or nobody wanted them, and they're going to be torn down. So we came, Mikey 23, come to a neighborhood like we working on now in Rundle. We come through there and take a house that is an eyesore and make it so beautiful that the whole neighbors is really thankful that we're coming through to do that. And they're very helpful. The neighbors are very helpful. They bring drinks and chips and they even take pictures of themselves for the kids. So we really appreciate that.
So they're thankful you're fixing up that house. And I think that's the house I visited.
It is. We are almost done with the outside because we're trying to get everything enclosed on the outside so that we can really start working on the inside when the weather gets cold. So next week will be learn how to pour a concrete driveway. And so, so they're going to learn how to finish concrete. And because we teach them all those trades. I mean, literally everything that has to do with construction. We get them so they can put their hands on each, and then we teach them how to run a skid loader, which is the name for the Bobcat or some machine like that. We teach them how to use that. We taught them.
Tell me about a Bobcat. What is a Bobcat?
Well, okay, it's a skid loader. A skid loader basically is like a backhoe. If you've seen, so we driving around the city of Lansing, right? So we have so many roads are tore up, right? So you see them yellow machines out there, that they're using. Yeah. Those they have different names on them. You have a front end loader, and then you have a skid loader, and then you have a Bobcat. So they have all 3 of those machines. When you're going around the city of Lansing, on big yellow machine, that's what those are.
And that's what you're teaching the kids.
And that's what we teach.
Wonderful.
Yeah. We taught 8 of them last year and how to run a skid loader. And that's a smaller version of the big machines that they got out there. So that's a smaller version. So just let your parents know out there, it's all about safety. So we make sure that we teach them about safety also too.
Speaking of safety, so do they take some type of safety class prior to this?
So again, everything is about safety. We teach them about what would happen if this happens in the construction site. You step on a nail, anything like that. So we make sure, so we have the liability insurance also too, the Mikey 23, but we make sure that the parents have the medical insurance too. So we want to cover both aspects of it. And so we teach them that why, if you see a nail that's in a board that's sticking up, we teach them that turn it over or bend it over so that the next person may not see it, right? We teach them to make sure you clean up your area first. You make sure your area is cleaned up because when you're stepping over something, you may accidentally trip over that. And we want to teach them that when you're running power equipment or any equipment like that, make sure you have safety glasses on because it's easy. You can put your eye out. We teach them. We provide them all the boots, the safety gear, all the tools and things that we provide everything for them to make sure they're safe and make sure that they're doing the job properly.
And that's all part of the program. You provide all that because that's
it is.
Probably means a lot to a lot of parents. That's part of it.
Yeah, so there's no cost to the parents at all.
That's phenomenal.
And we feed them too.
Oh, that's good. I really like that. So if the community wanted to support the Mikey 23 Foundation, how would they do that?
A lot of parents and a lot of community people ask that question. And it ain't necessarily monetary to bring money. Sometimes it can be bringing lunch. All right. Some people bring cookies and sweets and things of that nature. You can, certain things, if you think a child needs, if you want to say, well, I want to go to a place to buy them some boots or buy some gloves or buy a hat or buy a jacket and things like that. You don't necessarily have to say, well, I'm going to give you money to go purchase these items. You can go get them yourself. But if you want to do monetary, it's real simple. You can log on to Mikey23foundation.org and you can donate from that. And we are a 501 and we're tax exempt so that you can have that written off on your taxes if someone chooses to want to do it that way. Or you can just volunteer, right? You can come in, parents can come, or anyone can just come and volunteer.
Okay. Yeah. So the last question I have for you is, can you repeat the website again if people want to get more information on that?
Yes, that's MIKEY, 23 foundation.org. That's Mikey23foundation.org.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing this information on your foundation. We really, really appreciate all you do for the community. Seriously, it's so wonderful to see the kids. I've personally seen them, and I can't thank you enough for being a part of Lansing.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to listen to the Lan-Scene. Music for the Lan-Scene provided by Joystack. For more information, go to joystack.org. To listen to this episode and others on demand, visit lccconnect.org. If you have a story to share or would like to be a guest on the show, let me know. I'm Luci, and thanks once again, Capital City. It means so much to me to have the support of our community. Remember, when unified, our city and its people can rise together.